Oh, I've got some good news for you, Ripple XRP RLUSD fans, because guess what? In 2024, something will be happening. Hint, hint, it's coming up later in the video. Cubans out there trying to suck up to Can to help out with the crypto bros and gals. Delisting, but good for XRP?
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Now, before we get into the crypto news and comments, quick shout out to Amazon. No kidding. We do not have like any chains, junk like that up here, saw blades, parts, stuff like that, you name it. Got it overnighted, Amazon Prime, totally cool to be able to use the supply chain. Heat map, nope, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, relevant, and happy Friday to you all. Seriously, let's put some smiles on these faces. Let's turn those frowns upside down. ADV starts us off with some support for the channel. Thank you very much. Says total respect, Klaus. You're still posting quality content even though you and your community have suffered so much devastation. You're a good man helping people. I greatly appreciate that. The reason I want to get back into doing videos as regular as possible is this is helping me balance, right? There's a lot of stress going on, and this is a really good way for me to get that like some normalcy in my life. And I really appreciate this, and it really helps distract me from other things. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep doing videos despite using the old hotspot. Make XRP great again says, I refuse to pull out. Okay, hold on. There's more to the comment, but that's why I picked this comment. No, I picked this comment because we're going to talk about this more later. I refuse to pull out and let Ripple rebuy my shit at a lower price. I'm down 60% on this shitcoin and I'm not letting go. Even if we miss the bull run, I'm not going to let Ripple win on me. I hate this project. I wanted to share this comment for a couple levels, right? Because it's very relevant about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about being emotional about crypto. What did Gordon Gekko say? Don't get emotional about stock. He's right. But the problem is, if you have a lot of money tied into things and there's expectations and those expectations don't get met and you have a whole bunch of problems, well then how hard can you or how hard is it to stay away and not be emotional, right? I mean, when you're talking money, like it's very, very tough. Bitcoin sitting at 60,230 ETH, 2421, but some guaranteed news though for Ripple, RLUSD, XRP fans out there. You're going to love this one. XRP sitting at 52.33. We're going to talk price at the end. Meme, by the way, is making a little bit of pump. I see some PayPay shib and some Wi-Fi hanging out over here. Monero, by the way, has been beaten down how many times? Almost threw in a naughty joke there. The whole idea of privacy coins being delisted by exchanges is a big one, but guess what I got for you? A delisting that is good for XRP. And it's not like bullshit. It's not hopium. It's not hype. It's actual real shit that's going to happen in 2024. I'm excited. Let's get into this though. Bitcoin makes the IMF hesitant to issue new loans to El Salvador. El Salvador still has a lot of debt, okay? So just because they got this Bitcoin surplus doesn't mean they've erased their debt. They've had a lot of inflation problems too. Like think of what you've had in your country most likely, and you're going to sit here and you're going to think that's nothing compared to this, okay? But check this out. Unfortunately, the IMF is vocally skeptical of Bitcoin's role in nation-state dealings. After all, the price of Bitcoin regularly fluctuates by high single-digit percentages. We understand that, okay? Here's the problem they got. Is the IMF does not like it when these countries use crypto as a legal tender, a crypto way to make payments. The IMF hates that because it takes power away from all the banks, right? It's kind of messed up. So the IMF is sitting here going, you know, you did something good for your country. You found a way to bring in some hundos of millions, strip club money. That's El Salvador strip club money. There's lots of jumblies in the face, okay, with that kind of money. And they're like, you know, you did something good for your country, but we're going to punish you by not helping you with loans, even though they now can repay the fucking loans and repay the loans and then some. They're like, nah, we don't want to do business with you because you got success from Bitcoin. Fuck you. Dude, if you found success in something financially, you're telling me that the IMF, the one that's out there that's supposed to help countries, is now looking at a country who got help from somewhere else and still wants to work with the IMF. And the IMF is like, no, you got help, but it wasn't solely on our teat. Sucking on the teat. There's going to be more teat sucking coming on later. For real. You're going to check it out. So that bothers me about the IMF. But that also tells me that the IMF is very threatened by Bitcoin. And I think that's very powerful for the people. All right, Ripple awaits. Oh, and Klaus, you didn't stick this news at the end? Hell no, girlfriend. I brought it right away in the beginning because I like y'all. Ripple awaits the SEC's Form C appeal filing. Damn, gotta get some sleep. Basically, what the Form C is what is the SEC specifically appealing, because there's a whole bunch of things. They could appeal the stuff regarding Larson and Garlinghouse directly, the programmatic sales. They can appeal secondary sales. Oh yeah, dude, they could do whatever the hell they want, because now that the case is over, right, the judge did her ruling on what the penalty was. This is the open appeal window. Yeah, for everything. And so we're going to wait and see what happens. So hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you don't miss out. Horn my own content. Why? Because when the SEC files Form C, damn straight I'm going to bring it to you fast. Maybe not as fast as I used to be able to, because I'm still on the old hotspot because we don't have internet, which I'm very thankful for because other people have it worse. But for real, T-Mobile, step up your game. Coinbase to ban and delist non-EU regulated stablecoins by the end of 2024. This is real, and this is what's cool. The statement that revealed that MiCA's regulation of stablecoin issuers in the EU took effect June 30th, okay? So basically saying, hey, look, third quarter of this year on, you gotta be by MiCA regs. Exchanges in the region would need to be e-money authorized by at least one of the EU's member states before the new rules kicked in on December 31st, 2024 going forward. So kind of like grandfathering stuff in, okay? Coinbase said it would provide updates for its plans in the next few months, but it hinted that USDT users could convert their stablecoins to Circle's USDC, which is EU compliant. Now you're sitting here going, well, okay, that's not good, Klaus. Well, actually it is. Coinbase announced its intention to delist Tether's non-EU regulated USDT from exchange by the end of the year. The exchange disclosed the possibility of replacing USDT with Ripple's RLUSD. So now you've got EU regs kicking in, which is going to push Tether. Now, mind you, okay, just like you know how like the United States isn't everything for crypto, the EU is not everything for crypto too. So if Tether loses some EU, you know they just can pump this shit out of the Asian markets. Oh, they could pump some more Russia love, some BRICS love, right? There's a lot of money floating around there. And it's the same thing, you know, with XRP, right? Like if they're not US friendly, there's a lot of money out there in the rest of the world. So because the EU regs stepping up, this is going to open the market cap up for other players out there. Now, what's interesting about this, if you look up on the screen right now, you got XRP listed at number 7 with market cap at 30.1 billion. Who's right above that, Klaus? Well, let me tell you, that's number 6, USDC at 35.5 billion. So now we start talking about more business being available to stablecoin players out there. And who's opening up a stablecoin? Well, that would be El Ripley. I like stablecoins because I like ways where you could park your money, that you could move it like in an instant. And know that you could get juicy yield on it. I think that's great. I really do. I think that's a great thing. Okay, I told you earlier there's going to be some teat suck, and then we're going to talk XRP price action, because I know there's an emotional segment to this, and we're going to talk about that, okay? Mark Cuban praises Kamala Harris for engaging with the crypto crowd. I cannot fucking stand this guy. Look, Cuban's a crypto bro. And I know a lot of people like Cuban, so I might take a little hate for this. But Cuban will also suck on anyone that has power. I mean, for real, dude. He will brown nose any booty hole you could imagine. The devil could be sitting there, and the devil could be like, you know, I'm about to launch some crypto regs. And Cuban would be like, how hot is that spicy pepper? Like, I get it. And the problem is Cuban's trying to edge it for Kamala Harris by trying to swing some of the crypto vote for over to Kamala Harris. But the problem is this, Mark Cuban, is Harris has been the fucking VP for 3.5 years and hasn't done shit for crypto. Fuck, I don't know what the hell she's done the last 3.5 years. Gotta be honest with you. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so Cuban, you're basically just trying to look out for yourself in your best interest. And using crypto as, I don't know, a leverage, a little card you could play up your sleeve. Cuban, you're fucking gross. All right, XRP, 7th in market cap. We talked about that, right? Look at this. Volume is really starting to come down. But does that matter right now that the price is starting to move up a little bit? See? So all the big pressure, the big selling, the big moving is really starting to calm down. With the volume being what it is at 1.4 billion, you're starting to see things level off. Now, the problem we got here is the emotional effect of this pumping to 65 and everyone's talking moon action. And then all of a sudden, I lose power for a few days. I don't know what the hell's going on in the world. And then all of a sudden I come back and I'm like, oh, I didn't miss anything. Except for time. And I think that's why some of you are starting to get frustrated, and I understand that. Make XRP again says again, I refuse to pull out and let Ripple be buying my shit at a lower price. Even if we miss this bull run, I'm not going to let Ripple win on me. And that's what people are worried about, missing the bull run. And that has to deal with time. Because you know how earlier I said, like, I'm a big fan of stable coins because you could park your money places, you get some juicy yield, especially if you trust the company that you're doing it with, right? So if you do that, you're talking about trust in companies. You're talking about making money and trust in that companies. Well, and then we start looking here going, well, wait a minute, they're going to be launching a stable coin. Tether's going to be doing that. I could park my money in a stable coin, earn some yield, or could I wait for native token? Well, I don't know if you want to wait because the SEC and the whole appeal thing, I mean, 2026, 2027, you can drag it out for as long as you want. I mean, we talked about this going to the Supreme Court plenty of times. And I wanted to get harder on that, but I also didn't want people to think I was pissing on crypto being negative. But you saw the writing on the wall. You saw that, like, at every situation, the SEC just did not want to frickin' cave. So now when we get to the emotional part here, longs are sitting here going, God, this sucks. Because look, even none of these little moves here, these little Taurus pumps right here, has come even close to $1. And held. And I'm talking about in holding. All right? For more than seconds. So when we look at this, the longs are like, oh, crap. Now, shorts, I don't know. I mean, like, you short-term lovers, there's some definite pumps to play. I mean, this most recent move here, and I want to bring this up, this most recent move here isn't even some of the lowest action we've seen. Look at that. July 8th, we were down at 43 cents. You'd be up about, 23 cents something, or 23%, something like that. That's pretty good. So it's all relative. But the frustrating part has been the fact that, yes, you see it pump and then it just dumps. And we've seen it time and time again with big news things. And this is where that emotional part of it comes into play. The frustration of time, the frustration of waiting. I've been reading tons of comments. And again, I'm not a news channel trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to provide you the information, what people are thinking, what's out there, what's happening, what the numbers are. But I can tell you, I'm getting an increased amount of comments down below that are telling me, dude, I've swapped 10% out into this. I've swapped 10% out into that. And I totally understand. Because time is something that you never get back. And think about it. You could go broke and make all your money back. But if you sit on your ass and do nothing for 2 years, guess what? Those 2 years are gone. And you start asking yourself, what could you have done during those 2 years? Now, am I talking emotional stuff? Or am I talking about with your money? Because if your money's parked for 2 years and you ain't earning shit with it, and then you find out that, Gary, the stuffed sausage. I don't know. I dig this. I dig it because it's like a cool crochet pattern down here. Like, it's well done. Well done. Gary the prick. But, you're sitting here for the time. Now you're thinking Gary over here just pushed this thing out another several more years. How many players do you think are going to want to get in now knowing they're going to have to wait a few more years? And how many players that are already in and have been playing for a few years are like, dude, now we got to wait even more years? But it's not all bad because when you zoom out, okay, we know that rates are going to start getting better, more favorable for riskier assets. XRP is very risky, as we've seen. You've seen the moves. The floor of XRP has been built up because we're talking 31 cent XRP in 2022. We're ways away from that. We would have to be several pretty bad news events in order for that kind of crap to happen. So the reality is, yeah, there's some bad news with the SEC. We got some good news with, a little bit of EU love for some stablecoin open market action here. You got the floor moving up as rates start getting a little bit better. Rates are going to be getting better over the next year and a half. So now it brings it back full circle. And how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the time and the waste of time? It's obvious how I feel, right? Everyone knows that I value time more than anything else out there in the world. And I know that every second doing this means one less second doing that. So you better make sure that the seconds you are doing this is something that you want to do, something worth it for you. And that same principle applies with parking your money somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of people that got into ICP and did really good on that run. There was a lot of people that made some money on Tencoin, got into that action. That's all happened during XRP's, kind of SEC kind of suppression action. That time is lost. Those opportunities are lost. And people are like, yeah, but bro, that's stupid. But is it really stupid? Because those same people have been able to buy something. They could still get back into XRP really cheap. And then they made money during that time. And what scares me, though, is that if you get more and more people like that, that's just going to start lowering the floor. And that lowering the floor, though, is going to then start what? It's going to start affecting supply and demand. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start having the price come down to where it's really favorable for people to take some risky gambles. Right? If you really see some big dips with XRP, there's some players out there that are going to be like, yo, I could take that gamble. And then they can take that gamble even more as time goes on because rates, right, are going to be coming down. And the more the rates come down, the cheaper that money is, the more risk you can take on a bigger scale. So it's some very interesting times right now. It's not all good news. It's not all bad news. And some of it's just meh news. But see, that's the difference with this channel, is I bring you the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. Again, huge shout out getting parts overnighted that are out of stores in order for us to keep working out here. Choo-choo bitches. Daddy's got work to do.